If you're charged with an MDOP in Michigan, this is malicious destruction of property. This offense could be a misdemeanor or a felony. Most of the time when a client reaches out to me, it's typically a misdemeanor. And a very common situation would be that the two people involved either know each other or they're neighbors, or occasionally they're complete strangers. And what this typically means is that a prosecutor and the police are alleging that you broke the law by destroying, altering, breaking property of another person. This could mean that you damaged their car, their house. This could mean that you damaged their lawn. No matter how small or how big, the law is malicious destruction of property. And that means that if you did it by accident, it's not malicious. But a lot of times these cases are pretty straightforward. And a lot of my clients reach out to me and say, X, Y, and Z happened. Yeah, I did that. I'm sorry. I wish I could pay for it. Can we pay for it? Can we avoid charges? And what I tell my clients is that it's important that I understand all of the facts, not the most favorable facts, but your version and the version of the other side and what they're going to say. And occasionally there may be an opportunity to kind of reach out to the police officer ahead of time, maybe to the victim, and potentially resolve the case without seeing a judge. That's very rare. Maybe once or twice a year, that's a possibility. It really depends upon the police officer, the prosecutor, the court. But most of the time, this type of case does go to court. And what that means is that there's going to be an arraignment, a pretrial, it's a criminal charge, you can go to jail, probation, there's all these different scenarios. Ultimately, what we want to do is lead with empathy. So what I've done for my clients is created a competitive advantage. And this means that when you go into a case for malicious destruction of property, you lead with empathy. You humanize the case. You tell your story. What's in the four corners of the report, we don't want the case to be about that. Meaning that report's only going to have one incident, maybe 10 minutes of your life that you acted in a way that you're not proud of. Should your entire case be based upon that short period of time? I don't think so, and I don't think you think so. I think it's important to tell the whole story, to tell your true story. And we adopt a growth mindset. Despite this incident happening, this is not who you are. In a very short period, a very isolated incident, you may have broken the law, you may have acted in a way that's out of your character, but that needs to be known, that needs to be explained. A prosecutor and a judge need to know who you really are, to know where you work, to know about your family, to know about your morals, your ethics, to understand that you agree that this sort of crime should not happen in the community, but now you're charged with it, so we can't treat you any differently. But what we can do is turn it into a learning experience by being proactive. These cases, a lot of times, that if the party is willing to make the other party whole, to replace whatever happened, there's a strong possibility that if a prosecutor understands that you don't typically do this, you're not of a criminal mind, you're a positive person in the community, you're willing to learn from it, and if you lead with empathy, adopt the growth mindset, and show progress, it's very likely that a prosecutor and a judge are going to be willing to work with us to a resolution that keeps you out of jail, potentially gives you no criminal record, and to go forward knowing how you were triggered in this situation and for it not to happen again. So you get one chance to handle an MDOP case. How do you wish to handle it? Do you want a competitive advantage going to the case? If you do, I can help you do that.